Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Arnaud José, and today I will talk to you about how to contribute to the Odoo code base. Some of you may be developers, and I will explain you how we can interact on pull requests to make sure that your code is merged. So first I will just explain why you may want to contribute to the Odoo code base. I will also explain how to do it to have a highest chance to have your pull request merged. I will explain you the guidelines, what we expect from a pull request on the GitHub Odoo. I will talk a little bit about tests and finish with the conclusions. So why would you like to contribute to the Odoo code base? First, you may find some bugs. So you are experiencing with Odoo, you have maybe some custom code and you find some bugs and they are annoying you and you would like to remove them. You may want to also to put some improvements. So for example, you are using one of the modules and you think that it's not logical or it could be better. And that way you decide to create a pull request to make it better, to improve our code. Sometimes we create large parts of code that are monolithic. It means that we have a big function that will do a lot of things. We try to avoid it, but sometimes it's still the case in the code base. And you would need to have a slight modification in that code base. You would need that if you could modify the code at this line, it will be better for your flow. So you will make a pull request to ask us to split the code in order for you to override a small function that will change the behavior of the big part that you identified. You may have some patch, some change of behavior, and while it is your patch, it is the burden of making sure that it doesn't crash, that you can upgrade your code base is up to you. When you merge it, it's up to us, because now the code belongs to us. That's why you may want to merge the part of the code that is for example, in community. Be careful, because if you identify some security issue, some flaws, we have a responsible disclosure policy. So you need to be careful and follow the steps in order to avoid the promotion of a big security issue that could be available to attackers. So in that case, I enjoin you to read the policy and the existing security issue on GitHub. The last one is the celebrity. If you need to build up a CV, it's a good way to improve your CV by creating pull requests in open source project. So I would say you are a developer and you find an issue in the code base. You can reproduce it on the run bot. It means that it is in our code, not yours. And you are able to identify what is not working as expected. You can fix it in a hurry. You just make sure that it's not crashing, it's not blocking your flow or your company. But as you are maintaining that patch, it could break with any update. So your role as a developer is to focus on your own code, your own added value. So if the issue is in our part, then it's our burden to fix it and to maintain it. So you want us to merge it. How would you like to contribute? First, I encourage you to read the documentation. It has everything you need to start contributing. Which version are you targeting? For now, we only support the 17 to master. Some versions are stable, the 18, 17, 19, and master is not stable, so we can do whatever we want in this version, but in the stable version, it's not possible to do everything. For example, we don't accept improvements, refactoring, cosmetic change. For example, changing a variable name because the naming is not good. You cannot change the signature of method because somebody could override that code, and if we merge your patch, when Odoo restart, it will break, so it won't be able to run. We don't accept data model change. So if you need to change add a colon in the database, remove a colon, change a colon type, it's not accepted in stable because it would require an upgrade script. Be careful with XML ID because when we restart weekly the Odoo server, we don't read the XML file. We only restart the Python code. We don't restart the Odoo instance with the -u option. We won't reload everything. Only the Python code should continue to work. It means that if you fix an issue, the fix cannot be worse than the previous situation. So if after your fix half the Odoo database crash, it's not acceptable. We don't. We cannot have a regression. So if you start making your own code, you need to keep it short and simple. The smallest is the patch. The highest is the chance that it is merged because it is easier to review. It changes less part or less file, and it's easier for us to review, so it will increase the probability to merge it. Be careful if you code with AI. We don't have anything about AI, but sometimes the code produced by AI can be bloated. It can be, it doesn't follow the guidelines of the file you are modifying, so we be really careful. So you will start modifying Python file. Be careful to keep the same guidelines. So adapt the same style, for example, in the naming, in the process, etc. Be careful because your use case is not the only one. Sometimes, when we make a specification, we decide to follow that flow and to make sure that it will work that way. Maybe you don't agree. You think that it should work another way. But we made a choice. So when we created the task, we knew probably that there were two ways of doing things, and we chose one solution. So you cannot change in stable the way we do things, because all the people that are happy with the way it is currently working won't be happy because it will change for them. So if a solution makes half people, 50% people happy, you cannot piss off the other half. So if you want to change that, you will need to do it in master. I will show you a small example of how can things work or not. For example, this is an example in the subscription module. So here on the left you have the current behavior. It's a sell order form view, and you have some details. You have the discount, the amount, and you know that there is a recurring revenue, 70, and non-recurring one. And for your own use case, you say, it would be interesting to have the recurring amount monthly and yearly. So you look at the code, you do some investigation, and you see that everything is computed in this method, compute recurring detail. You see it's Python, it's quite easy. So you decide to modify the recurring keyword to have recurring month and recurring year. That way you can simply have all the information. You do it and you see that the recurring detail is the rendering of a small template, so you need to update it too. So in that case you will remove that line val recurring, and you will add recurring monthly, recurring yearly. It looks simple. It works in your own database locally when you run Odoo. Perfect. If we deploy that change, it will give us that. Why? I don't know if everybody is able to read, but basically what it's saying is that there is a key error. Recurring is not existing. It cannot be found. Because here, you deleted the recurring value. But when you restart Odoo without the -u option, the template is not reloaded. The new XML file is not read. It's still in the view. That means that if you do that, Odoo will crash because you are not providing anymore the recurring keyword in the dictionary of rendering value. So if you try this at home, it will crash because the key recurring is not there anymore. You replaced it with recurring month and recurring year. So that's just an example how it can work for you, but it will crash for everybody else. So we have to be really careful about this kind of issue. Because with that, it's simply not possible to display the form view of the sell order anymore. So nobody can see any sell order for now. That's why we need to be careful when we review your pull request. You also need to be careful about translations. You know, the code in Odoo and what we display to the user is translated. There are different kinds of translation. You have the explicit terms when you say this string must be translated. We use self.arv._ for that. In JavaScript, we have this -t method too. And there is also the implicit translation. When we do the field definition, when we have XML field. But you have to be careful in order to make sure that the code you introduce, the text you introduce will be translated. If you are interested by the topic of translation, I enjoy you to look at the call of Tiffany. She will do a presentation on Saturday about translation. So she's there in the room. She will be able to answer your question about translation. Don't forget test, because you will push some code, the CI will run, and your run bot can be green or red. But it's not enough to have a green run bot. If you fix a bug, you need to make sure that it will not come back in a few years or in a few months. You need to make sure that there is no regression and the bad behavior cannot come back later. That's why we need to introduce tests. It can be a functional test in Python. It can be a QUnit test in JavaScript, or even some tools. The best are the Python tests because it's most of the time when you modify business flow, it's best to create a Python test. If you don't know how to do it, I think there are some talks too about how to do proper tests, and you can look at the code base. We have thousands of tests, and you will see how we do it. It's not that difficult, but it's really important to introduce tests, because sometimes we have a good pull request, but there is no test, so that's the first thing we will ask is, please, could you create a test for that? So what are we asking during a review? First, we will ask you to follow the convention of the code, the guidelines, to make sure that your code will be well implemented. It will not be really different from the existing code in the code base. We will ask for a minimal diff. So if you just fix a small thing, it should not be 1000 lines. Don't change things unrelated to the bug you are fixing. Avoid hack. So in Python, there are a lot of things you can do in a single line, but if nobody but you understand that change, it's not a good fix. So sometimes it's better to take a few more lines just to make sure it's easy to understand, and it does not complexify the code base. You have to make it clear. Sometimes it's not possible to have a really self-explanatory code, but the variable name should be easy to understand. You can add comments. It's not bad. We won't be mad because there are too many comments in your code. It helps the bug fix to read your code when they have to modify it, because you won't be the one maintaining your patch. When it's merged, it's our responsibility to maintain it, and it's not the reviewer that will fix it if it breaks a few months after. It's the bug fix team, so it will be another person, and that person, it's important that they are able to read and understand your code easily to see what it does, because sometimes you have to read the whole function and you need to say, okay, this part is doing that, it's not what I'm interested in. This part is doing this, my issue could be there, and then they need to understand easily. But being able to distinguish what part does what, it's really important. It helps the bug fix to quickly fix the code and the tickets. So this is a small commit from Abstrupt Goes. So it's not online anymore, but that's a commit that I like to read, because it explains what it is to be a reviewer. Voilà. So it's important to not fall into this kind of traps. Pull request and commit. So we have guidelines, so don't hesitate to read them. You need to explain why you are doing some change, the step to reproduce, the trashback when you have one, and the reason you are doing it. Don't explain what you are doing. Don't say, I'm fixed styling, or I'm adding a new step in that method to make it faster. Just say, it was slow before. It was not clear. So here I have some suggestion of commits. It's always the same style. You have fix, improvement, etc. Module name, a small sentence to explain what it does, and a message and the ticket. It's always the same. If you have a value error, raise an exception, you can say it, but the best is to put the copy-paste of the trashback. It explains directly what you are fixing. Don't be afraid of long commit message, it's never an issue. Indeed, you need to keep it professional. Before Odoo, it was not serious as now. So we had some past commit message in the old version that are quite funny. So yeah, don't do it like that. In conclusion, I would say you need to differentiate if you work in stable or master. Don't make it crash. We cannot have any regression, so make sure that it works. And when you apply your patch, just restart Odoo without the minus option. If you need -u to make it work, it's for master, it's not for stable. Be aware of the translation issue, because we don't want English string everywhere. We need to make sure it is possible to translate it. Test your patch and polish your commit message in order to make it clear and easy to understand for everyone. Thanks for your attention, and we can now start with the questions.
Okay, so we have here a question about what would be a good entry point for someone who is trying to contribute to Odoo for the first time.
For the first time, the best way to do it is first start with small things. Don't start with a big pull request of 500 lines. No, start with little thing, and the best is personally I learn by doing. So if there are something that annoys me in the way software works, I will try to fix that. And that's always a good way to start. It's just look at the product at Odoo, and if you see something that annoys you, try to fix it. That's a good start for first.
Okay, here we have regarding adding a bug fix that would break the NoSQL schema rule. So the question here is, well, adding a field usually doesn't lead to a crash, so why is that a problem?
It's a problem because most of the time you don't want just to introduce a new field. You want to populate it with existing data. That's why we need an upgrade script to make sure it is correctly populated. And yeah, we don't accept new field in stable because we have to put the some rules. Otherwise, we know some people will add a lot of fields, and it will break the upgrade. So we need to be careful, and that's why we don't allow introduce new fields, at least in the stable module. If you create a new module, you can add new field. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes in stable we say, oh, it's not working, we need a new field. And what we do is we create an auto-install module that depends on the one. We do the inheritance, and then we can install have the new field. But we cannot add them in the existing module.
Okay, here we have another question regarding if a bug I found is, let's say, in v16, how can I have it also, my patch be also applied in later versions like 17, 18 if they are also affected?
Yeah, we have something called the forward port bot. So you create the pull request in the oldest branch that is available, 16 or 17 for now. And when it is merged, this bot will create automatically the pull request for the next versions. So it starts in 17, it is merged, it will create the pull request by cherry picking the commit in 18. And then when it's merged, it will create it in 19, up till master. So we have a bot for that. Once your pull request is merged in 17, for example, you cannot interact with this GitHub bot, but we will do it. We will make sure that the fix you did will be merged up till master.
And I think that wraps it up for the questions here. So if people here have further questions for you, where can they find you here in OXP?
Most of the time I am at the sign booth, because I mostly work on a subscription and a sign module. I can put my name, my email if you want. My email here. I will. Here it is. So if you want to mail me, I cannot review. For example, if you have an issue with a pull request in accounting, I won't review it because I'm not an expert in accounting. You could break things I'm not aware of, but I can redirect you to the good people. And when you create the pull request on the topic, we have also some bots that will automatically assign the good team. So if you make a pull request that is changing sign or subscription for me, I will be pinged. I will get a notification. So it's not necessary to ping half the people you know how to do. We have automatic assignation of the pull request. So you create your pull request in draft, for example. You make sure that it's polished. You have a good commit message. It's clear. It's okay. When it's okay, you can put it in ready to review, and it will notify the people. So the team leader and the team members that are responsible for that module will be pinged, and they will be able to work on that pull request.
Well, thank you. I think that concludes it.
Thank you.